Miss Nicole Lynn.
I can't stand here today without sharing the story of a girl who had a profound impact on my life. She was a rose that grew from a crack in the concrete. Her mother was a single parent that made minimum wage, who never understood the concept of parenting. Her father, an immigrant and new to the country. Her younger brother, in and out of behavioral centers, on his way to becoming a statistic, raised by his older sister, this little girl. The three essentials to life, food, clothing, and shelter, were what she and her family lacked the most. Food was always scarce. During elementary school, she always brought home a portion of her free lunch for her and her younger brother to eat for dinner. It's almost hard for some to grasp this concept, but for her, her daily focus at 8 years old was determining what she would eat for dinner the next day. She repeatedly wore the same clothes to school as her family constantly ran from eviction notice to eviction notice, just trying to stay warm. When they did have a place to stay, the electric, the gas, the water were typically disconnected, so a cold shower was a part of the norm. She was never in a safe environment. Being robbed at gunpoint, standing in the middle of drug deals, watching women get physically abused are just a few of the that she had to endure as a child. Every day she woke up, she had to make the decision that she would survive. I was that little girl growing out from a crack in the concrete. Class of 2018. I remember being in your exact seat just a little over 10 years ago. I'm pretty confident that you're going to remember who I am, okay? Because I have no idea who spoke at my graduation. But I hope that you remember just 3 essential points that I leave with you today. Remember, dream big, chase the crazy ideas and defy the odds. When I first got to college, I decided that I wanted to be a sports agent. I wanted to represent the Tom Bradys of the world. But when I told people about this dream, they looked at me like I was crazy. They looked at me like I was saying that I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be Jay-Z. I wanted to be Kanye West. Well, not Kanye West, but maybe Jay-Z. You know. A female sports agent? Yeah, a female sports agent. You couldn't have told me that I wouldn't achieve this dream, but the hard part was that I knew that the odds were against me. See, only 22% of students that graduate in low income and poverty actually graduate from college. So in order for me to become an NFL sports agent, I not only had to graduate from college, but I had to be an attorney. Every step I made was to fulfill this dream. I moved to New York City and I became a lawyer. I then worked at the NFL Players Association. And now I currently work for Lil Wayne in Young Money Sports as his only female sports agent, and I'm also a practicing attorney. People wonder, how is it possible for an impoverished black female who never played a lick of football could make it this far? I couldn't have imagined 10 years ago when I sat in your seat in my jet black cap and gown that was thankfully paid for by Dr. Boyles, my principal at the time, because frankly, my parents couldn't afford it. That I would one day attend the NFL Combine, the NFL Draft, be on the red carpet at the ESPYs Award, and represent some of the top NFL players and Olympic athletes all across the country. And that vision was far bigger than my experiences and bigger than my exposure. I saw something in me that others could not, and I kept dreaming. See, many times you have to believe in yourself more than what others believe in you. Newsflash, your big ideas and your big dreams, they're not crazy. Where would this world be without our dreamers and our creatives? The Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, the Oprah Winfreys, the Tupac Shakurs, and the list goes on. All of those are examples of what it looks like to explore your wild imagination. Let your mind be blown by the endless possibilities of who you can be. Second point, fake it till you make it. Now, when the innovators and dreamers first launched into their careers, many were what most would deem unqualified. For example, there was a time when Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of college to become the CEO of Facebook, but he didn't know how to run a company. And Oprah Winfrey took her first position as an evening news anchor in Baltimore and was later fired and told that she was unfit for TV. Every single person with a dream has to start at the bottom. And when you're at the bottom, I just hope you remember, fake it till you make it. Right out of college, I secured a job in New York City at the #1 investment bank in the world. And I moved to New York City as a financial analyst. When I arrived on the first day, there were 8 analysts in my group, 7 of which that graduated from Ivy League colleges. And then there was me, the state school kid. They all looked at me like I didn't belong. I had the resume to be there, but I dealt with something called the imposter syndrome. Sitting there with kids from the richest families in the country, Ivy Leagues, and then there was me, the poor kid from the hood. I felt like an imposter, but I faked it, and I faked it good. See, I continued to fake it when I became an NFL sports agent. In my very first year as an agent, I had no clue what I was doing. I remember walking into the NFL Combine, and all I saw was a sea of men. And then there's me, standing at the young age of 26 years old with my 5-inch heels and my red lipstick, hey. I was there to represent my one and only client. And when NFL scouts approached me about an aspect of my client's film, I remember reciting exactly what my husband told me to say, because I didn't know the film. Yes, Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, my client has the ability to play in any defense. He's a 3-down backer who doesn't have to come off the field, and he excels in coverage. I literally had no clue what that meant. But man, I was selling it. And I sold it so much that I got my very first client, who was totally off the radar, signed to a team. But see, the key here is that when I was faking it, okay, while I was faking like I knew the game, I learned the game. I faked the confidence until I achieved the confidence. I stayed up long nights watching NFL games. I asked questions. I took notes. I read books. And now I know the game. I know the game so well that now I teach a virtual class for women called Heels on the Field, shameless plug. And if you're gonna bet on anyone, you gotta bet on yourself. So fake the confidence even when it isn't there. Embody the presence that demands attention when you walk in the room. Study your craft to become an expert. Nothing substitutes hard work. Be diligent in your pursuit to go from faking it to making it. Okay, and this is my last point, but this is the most important one. Small things matter. Let me tell you about one of my friends from law school. Her name is Amelia Coates. And in order for you to understand and appreciate this story, I need you to know what Amelia looks like. Amelia is a white girl with freckles and long red hair. Amelia, her graduating class looked very different than this one, as there wasn't a single minority present. On my first day of law school, students got the opportunity to choose what groups they wanted to join. So naturally, I chose the Black Law Student Association, among others. Amelia, standing right by my side, signed up too. I thought, this is odd. Over the course of 3 years, Amelia became the vice president of the Black Law Student Association. She attended the Black Caucus in Washington, D.C. as a representative of our organization, and she assisted our chapter in winning Black Law Student Association of the Year. Because of Amelia's efforts, combined with our organization, we enhanced the African American experience at the OU College of Law. So why did Amelia do this? Amelia recognized that there were racial hypertension and inequality issues in the United States and in the law school. She also recognized that small things matter. You never saw Amelia marching with Black Lives Matter. You never saw Amelia protesting. Amelia never crafted a long Facebook status about the issue. But what Amelia did do was make very small, daily changes that likely went under the radar, but made a profound difference. Martin Luther King once said, "If you can't do great things, do small things in a great way." You may never be Nelson Mandela. You may never win a Nobel Peace Prize. You may never be asked to give the commencement speech at your alma mater. But you, like Amelia, have the ability to make small changes. What are those changes going to be? See, you can't make these small changes if you don't know what you're fighting for. So in this very moment, I want you to just take 10 seconds and think about it. What are you going to fight for? Is it going to be racial injustice? Will it be dreamers? Will it be single moms, gay rights, religious freedom, hungry kids? You have the ability to be the voice for those who cannot speak and the legs for those who cannot stand. So when you think of a village, the voice that is often the loudest and in the forefront is the one of the chief. But there are many others whose efforts lead to the collective impact of the chief and the village. I stand here because of women like Amelia, who may never make it to this stage, but I am because they are. Learn to be an Amelia. Do small, great things. Class of 2018, I charge you to continue to dream big no matter what, to embody the confidence of an expert even when you have to fake it until you make it, and to understand that small things matter. Remember, it always seems impossible until it's done. Here's to proving the possible. Congratulations.